Hello. I am so excited to introduce you guys to Shelby, who we absolutely adore and have been working with for over a year now. So I would love for you to introduce yourself, Shelby. Where are you from? How long have you had a business? What do you do? Give us the goods.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I've been in business for 5 years. I am based out of Philadelphia. Like Lucy said, it's probably been like a year and a half that I've known you guys, if not a little bit more than that now. Based out of Philly, but doing stuff all over the place, I guess.
We love our long-term clients so much. See the evolution of your business over 18 months. We're obsessed. Hopefully, we can keep you for life.
Literally, got me for life. I went through withdrawals of like being with you guys and being like, wait, who do I talk to 5 days a week?
Who gets it? How did you get into your business?
So I actually started as a photographer. Been a photographer for 13 years. I thought that that was going to be my career. I tried out a lot of different types of photography, from family to fashion to all these different things. And what I felt was like something was missing. And when I stumbled into marketing and doing more marketing photography, like working with businesses, I realized a lot of businesses, even if they had great photos, had no idea how to use them or market themselves. I started teaching myself about marketing from the ground up and found that I had a deep love for it. I started marketing for a restaurant that was really good, friends with the owners, and they gave me the shot. And I'm still working with them. They're amazing. They're my longest standing client. I found that the missing piece I was craving was marketing, because it is so interesting and creative in its own.
Yeah, and I love that journey and evolution, right? Because photography and having an eye for aesthetics, I feel like that's why you're so good at videography too, and capturing the real feelings and emotions behind what your clients do. I feel like that's a journey that most people don't realize they can make. If you're good at photography, if you have an eye for aesthetics, this makes sense. And then if you also crave the strategy side, it sounds like to me what you're saying is you wanted to have a career that was integrating both right side and left side. And this is how you mesh the two together, because you get the creative outlet, but then you also get to be like strategic and like, what do I think is going to work? How do I position this? Looking at the analytics and all of that. Does that sound accurate?
It's cool. It's that deeper level of, I'm not just taking pictures and doing the back end of that, but it's the challenge. It's that added challenge in each one, like what does work, what doesn't work. I've actually really fallen in love with the strategy side of it over everything. It's the one thing I won't give up. No, I do the strategy.
I love that.
It's really
Oh,
fun.
I love the strategy too. I remember my corporate job, one of my first job out of college. I remember like having, it was so monotonous at the end that I was like, I just cannot do this another day. Have the same conversation over and over again. It's like, I gotta get out of here. One thing I love about marketing is that it's always changing every single day. What works for one client doesn't mean it's going to work for another client. You really do have to get creative, think outside the box, and look at the data, take the emotion out of it. We're like, no, I'm sure this is going to work. I feel it in my bones. Well, let's see what the data tells us and make decisions based off of that.
It's not working. It's not working. You have to build that tough skin and take the ego out of it. But it's cool because then it challenges you to try something that might have like not come across as something you would have done before. It really pushes you to continue to grow.
I love it. Us marketing girlies could geek out about this stuff all day long. Tell us a little bit about your journey through the Charm Collective. Let's rewind. Before you joined us inside Charm Collective, what were the biggest struggles you were facing in your business?
Yeah, I was really familiar with the photography and getting leads for clients, photography wise, but getting marketing clients was totally new to me. I didn't really know about Upwork. I had used it for little things in the past. I was working with referrals and it was enough. Didn't know how to get myself to that next step or actually build a business around it. You came up in Instagram ads and I followed, and I was just a silent follower. I'm just going to send a message. I got the best voice message from Emma being like, hi, I'm just on a walk right now. I just want to see what's going on.
Oh,
It completely, I was like, oh, these are like real people and these are like a really cool support system. And the reason I wasn't joining was because I was like, I don't even know what I need or what I don't need. I didn't feel like I had like an immediate problem. But the second I joined, I was like, oh, there's so much that I didn't know could make my client experience better, getting leads easier, finding people that are more aligned with me. And Caitlin laughs at me because I literally watched every single portal video.
that is so hard to do. You're probably part of the 1% that's ever done that.
But every video I watched, I was genuinely like, oh my God, I didn't know. And although I had the base, what happened was I realized once I took those systems and implemented them, I could actually have the space to get way better results for my clients because I wasn't spending all my time going all over the place because I didn't have those systems. Going through the program really skyrocketed my business because it allowed me to have those systems in place and find people that were more aligned with my business. That wasn't always the case. I'm sure anybody in marketing or this field knows you go through that. I went through the whole program. I implemented for 8 months that I wasn't working with you guys, and I felt a calling to come back because I do have clients that I genuinely love and looking to scale to that next portion of the agency. It's so happy, and the support system is like no other. I feel like anything I need on any aspect is there, which is really important.
Oh, don't make me cry. Oh, I love it so much. What was one of the things that you gained from joining Charm Collective that you were like surprised? Or because I love how you said like you didn't even realize what you needed until you got inside and you were like, oh my gosh, I've been wasting so much time, or I didn't even think about this and this is helping me. What is one thing that you gained from joining that made such a big difference?
Honestly, the mindset stuff helps so much. Just knowing that I'm supported in any way that I need. Of course, the systems and all of that are amazing, but before I joined, I didn't have a community. I never worked a 9 to 5. So I never had marketing friends or anything. Having the mindset work, the positivity behind even just like celebrating a win in the start of every call. I struggle with having those moments where you are grateful for where you are currently. That always helps center me and be like, okay, we're working towards something. There's goals being set. That really helps me center myself day to day, which I think is really important and not everybody thinks about, more so than even the financial stuff.
It's so easy, I think, as people that have big dreams and big goals to focus on how far we are from where we want to go and just rob ourselves of the joy of the journey. They say, even with weight loss, a lot of times why people fail at losing the weight they want is because they say, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds. Instead of focusing on, I want to lose 1 pound this week and then compounding that. I think we do the same thing in business. I am so guilty of this, and I've hit major milestones in my business where I'm like, wait, now I feel kind of empty, and like I'm always moving the puck. I always want the next thing. So like, what am I just never going to enjoy the journey ever for my entire life? And so that's why we make it a point to be like, okay, what are our wins this week?
It makes
a huge difference. And I tell everybody on the call, a win could be making your bed today. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
we just need to celebrate.
Tell me, like the new tracker that just came out. I was like, wow, you guys put as a win, like I drank water today. We are celebrating literally. But that's amazing because that's not how I automatically am. So having that helps me recenter and be like, okay, yeah, things are good.
We want our girlies to stay hydrated.
I like clicking the yes, I will say. Yes.
It's a dopamine hit for sure. Oh, I love that. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, revenue-wise, what your journey has looked like? Where were you when you came in? How many clients were you working with? What was your average retainer amount?
I was $800 and $1,200 for retainer pricing. I think I only had 3 or 4 clients when I started. Revenue-wise, I was looking at $2,500 a month. Right now, I'm at $8 a month. And I have photography stuff coming in, so it's really improved. Before the call, I looked, and from this month to last month in my sales report, I'm up 110% from last year this
Wow.
time. So it is crazy to think that way. Just having the space, I just last week hired 2 part-time girls. So now I know I have 6-month contracts. I didn't have that before. So I was always working in that scarcity mindset. Now I have 6-month, 1-year contracts. Retainer wise, like I'm still around like 1,500 to 2,000 client, but working on raising that again currently. So just building up to it. Yeah.
I love it. You're so talented. You should definitely be charging.
Well, I will say, like, I feel like the packages that I was charging 1,500 before had like double the amount of stuff. That like
Mhm.
I feel like my packages are a lot more refined now. So I feel like I'm doing the work that balances.
Totally. Yeah, that makes complete sense. One of the things I always talk about is we have goals. When I first started, at least, I had a goal of a 10K month, right? And I realized later down the road, I was like, oh my God, I never could have gone there with like my prices because I would have had to clone myself to have enough hours to make that work. If we're not super strategic about every little thing in our business, we can create roadblocks for ourselves that we don't even realize. So I love that you're now charging more for half the work.
I used to be the yes man. I didn't even send out proposals before, which is crazy. All my clients were referrals. So I just kind of became the yes man. We didn't really set anything up. So I'm doing everything. And because it wasn't a conversation, I didn't feel confident saying no. Now refining and saying, I know the things that I'm good at, and this is what's part of your package. Like, it's really
Yeah,
transformed so much.
100%. I can only imagine. I went through that as well. You find yourself doing stuff where you're like, how am I doing this? Why am I doing this? This is a random task. Like, this is what an accountant should be doing for this brand. You're like,
You know what? Learn some random skills along the way. I'll spin it positive,
yeah.
but definitely like learning through working with you guys, knowing what I'm actually good at, and selling that has made the marketing side of these clients I'm working with so much stronger because it's like, hey, that's not my wheelhouse. This is though, and I know that I can make this part of your funnel so much stronger by just specializing in this.
I struggled saying no to clients. I would avoid conflict at all costs, and saying no felt like conflict. I remember standing up for myself to one client, and the respect I got from him, he then looked at me like an expert. I think that clients want to be told no because they want to be directed and want you to stand in as the service provider, as the expert, and be like, hey, I hear you, totally get that, but this is what's going to be beneficial for your business. And they're going to be like, oh, I feel safe. I have somebody that's taking care of me now.
I even do that in sales calls now when I'm talking to people and they feel like they want something. I feel confident enough to say, you know what? I actually don't think that's what you need. I think it's this. And even the respect and trust they feel with me, I've actually found that drives them to work with me more. It's just being honest from the get go. I've had those calls too. I've had clients that no matter what, it wasn't right.
Mhm.
I tell all my clients, I'm so thankful for you. I feel like I have people who are so much more aligned and get each other, and it's really nice that mutual respect.
It's so important to have this conversation about bad fit clients because, as you said, everyone experiences it. And it's how long you allow that to like impact your life, your business, how you handle those conversations. Because I've talked to so many freelancers, agency owners that are like, this business is not for me. I'm closing shop. And I'm like, why? It comes back to the bad fit clients that ruined their confidence, made them hate what they did. I'm like, you just had a bad fit client. We just need to move those clients off. You're really passionate about this. Don't give up. When you have a bad fit client, it's like, oh my gosh, it's me. I suck. I'm terrible. If you don't have that mindset support, if you don't have that community support, I'd
Yeah.
love to hear your journey with that.
When I first started, I had a lot of clients that I felt that way with. They just weren't the fit. It was a shame because I started to set up my systems and they were getting really good and I was sending out the best analytics reports I'd ever had. I remember I'd send them 10 minutes later, I'd get a call and it was never right and it was never good enough. It took a while for me to build up the confidence to say, hey, a different part of your funnel is broken or there's different things going on. Once I started to stand up for myself and let those clients go, my fiance said from like an outside perspective, he was like, every time you let go of one of those problem clients, you got like 3 more, like wonderful clients. So just keeping that space to like, because you don't realize until you leave those clients how much mental space that takes up. Once you leave them, good people do come. It's also okay if you don't like somebody in a discovery or a proposal call to say, I don't think we're a right fit. And
Oh, it's so empowering.
I've gotten off calls and been like, and that's okay because I think that they're good for somebody else, but we're all so different. And that's what I realized, there's enough space in this market for everybody. You posted that video of how big this industry is growing, and all the girls in this program specialize in so many different things. One client that doesn't work for you works for another, and vice versa. I just think getting rid of those clients really helped shape where I'm at today. And I'm extra thankful for the ones that are amazing.
Put it into perspective.
So it's like getting on the other side of that and realizing if you don't work from the scarcity mindset, the right clients are there for you and you have the right lead gen set up, you do find them. You are okay.
Teaching God, the universe, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, what you're willing to accept, you get tested with the same lesson over and over until you prove that you've moved past that lesson. I have seen this. I have to figure out like the spiritual significance or like phenomenon, but when you say like, hey, I'm not willing to accept this, or you fire a client or you turn down a client during the sales process, 10 times out of 10 times you are rewarded with perfect fit clients.
Crazy. And they come out, I wasn't even doing lead gen, and I'll get on the call was booked, and I'm like, where'd you even find me? It's so interesting how that kind of stuff rolls out, but it does. So now that it's happened, I'm like, okay, I have faith in that. And I have the confidence to say, I don't think that we're a right fit, and that's okay.
I love that. So you said that you joined us at 2,500, and it was not a small investment. Like, what fears did you have about joining Charm Collective?
Like I said, I was a silent watcher. I was like, look at Lucy, she's so bubbly and cute. But I had the fear of like, I mean, it was a big investment. I'm a big believer in continued learning. I had taken some one-off courses or watched webinars, and I felt like I never took anything from it, or I felt like I watched an hour and a half and nothing happened, and then I got sold at the end. Honestly, all the fears I had really disarmed the second I talked to you and your team. I realized you guys really care. When I took that investment, I knew it was a risk. If you jump into something, you don't know. But I knew my investment was a good one, literally the second and it was like, oh, okay, how fast things progressed after joining. I didn't care about the investment anymore. This stuff is invaluable. I don't even know where my business would be or if I would have it without working with you guys. And that's why I came back. You guys pump out more information every day, the team and everything. The investment was an investment. An expense in business, like continued learning, being around people that support you and build you up, it's worth that. It was worth every penny, and it still is. I'd say to anybody who's on the fence or isn't sure, it really is worth it. It's not even just the calls, but trainings that are saved, the knowledge from other girls in the program that have information you might not know. There's nothing more valuable than continued learning in your business. What I've learned in the past year and a half, it would take me 6 years to gain on my own. Having a support system who's been there can help guide you.
I've invested multiple 6 figures in education and coaching because I want to pay to like skip the line. I want to learn from somebody that has gotten where I want to go and figure out, like, I want to avoid the pitfalls. When I first started my agency, all the coaches were so like bro hustle culture, just like this energy that like was not in alignment with me at all. And so I didn't invest in coaching in the first year or two. I made a lot of mistakes, which I think helped me become a better coach in the end. But then I started investing in coaching, and I was like, this is the best feeling ever. I saw how you could collapse time and get to where you wanted to go much faster and do it more enjoyably. Something that I took away from what you said is that your revenue has grown considerably, but more than that, it sounds like you have a way better quality of life. You're enjoying the work more. You're working with clients that you actually love. That to me is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that.
No, I completely agree. It's not even so much the financial wins that I celebrate anymore. The win was like, I have enough in my finances right now to build a team, or those little things. That's what's so special.
Mm,
You literally collapse time. In the beginning, having the ego of like, I'm gonna tough it out. I come from both my parents, a lot of my family are business owners. I saw that hustle culture. If I went for hustle culture, I could fall into that really.
yeah.
I do sometimes, but it's nice to see that you don't have to scale an agency like that. You don't have to have systems where you're working around the clock. A couple years ago, I was like, I can't go anywhere. Like I can't take off. I can't, and there's times obviously where things are busy and you can't, but having the systems, having the freedom and learning from other people's mistakes makes a gigantic difference, and that's priceless.
Us talking about celebrating your wins daily, like those micro wins. I also don't want to put off going on vacation until I'm 60. I have had a lot of loss in my family around that age. It really put into perspective for me, like, okay, we're not enjoying life until I'm 60 because I want to live every day to the maximum. If God forbid I pass away at 65 like my dad, I want to make sure that I enjoyed every day. That put it into perspective for me as well.
That's what never appealed to me about a 9 to 5 or working for another person. I want to be able to work from wherever. You have girls we've worked with that are working from other countries right now. And it's just amazing that shift in mindset of like, no, it's okay. You can go out and live your life. Being able to work from home and having dogs and being able to
Yeah.
stop in the middle of the day and go to the park for an hour is amazing.
Even being able to work at night. If you want to take the day off and work at night, then I find it's so quiet. I'm not answering emails. I'm so productive. So why not make my schedule work for me? I have to get my husband on board with this lifestyle because I'm like, let's go to Costa Rica, go live somewhere else, like Europe, Italy for a month. And he does medical device sales in person. He's like, yeah, I'll meet you there. I'm like, all right, how much money do I have to make so that we can retire you? He's like, never. And I'm like, okay, I respect
It's
that.
exciting. We're engaged and we're going to visit wedding venues in Mexico. We booked it, and that week is in Mexico. The next week is in Brooklyn. I never dreamt of being able to take 2 weeks in the middle of the month, just being like, yeah, I'm going to work from here this week. I'm going to work from there next week. It's so fun. It's so cool. It's nothing I ever thought would be a reality, to be honest. It's amazing. Anybody can get there. I feel like that now. There's so much space for everybody, and everybody can do this if they choose to.
Totally. I love that. Where in Mexico are you thinking about getting married?
Outside of Cancun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see your venue. That's so exciting.
I'm excited to see in person. Can't wait.
Yeah. For anybody that is on the fence, what would you say to them about joining Charm Collective?
So when I started, your tagline was massive imperfect action.
It's still my personal.
I sold that a little bit and I would say just go for it. You guys made it so there were options. You guys walked through the whole process with me when I was inquiring about the investment cost. I felt really good about it. My advice would be, if you're on the fence, reach out to your team and talk to them, because immediately you're disarmed. Taking that action and trusting in yourself and saying, no, I'm going to make that back. Like, easy. Like it's fine. It's an investment. Just take the leap. Like, genuinely just take the leap, because it's changed me so much.
I don't even know her. That brings up 2 points for me. One is that a lot of people have bad taste in their mouth from sales teams. They're like, oh no, I was manipulated, I was pressured, I felt awkward. I've heard horror stories where people get off the phone crying. Our team is all about relationships, and we truly care. As Shelby was saying, if you're not the right fit for us, we're going to tell you that, show you what we think might be a better fit for you. So there's no pressure in reaching out and having those conversations. But at the end of the day, we just want you to be successful. And if that's not in our program, we'll be 120% transparent about that. We really protect our community. It's such a beautiful space where women are actually supporting one another, and we protect that at all costs, knowing that it's a safe space to have a conversation. You're in control of where you go from there. The second thing I will say is, whenever I join a coaching program, my goal is to become the best case study ever. And so what I mean by that is doing the work. Shelby has watched hundreds of hours of education that we have in our portal. It's a testament to her commitment to doing the work. You want to be able to go all in. That's where success lies. I always say our clients and the ones that are successful, we give you the roadmap, we give you the support, but you're the ones that are ultimately doing the work. You should be so proud of yourself as well. I think it's really amazing. And you have such a bright future. I would love to talk about, where do you want to go? What's your North Star vision? Where are we headed?
Honestly, I'm just working towards, when I did this round of hiring, what was really important to me is building like an in-person team. Both girls are local to me. We're going to be able to meet in person and talk. Really, I'm just looking for freedom. I love what I do. I just want more flexibility, even just thinking out. I want to be able to be a mom who, when that time comes, I can be home and around and have that freedom in life that you don't get from a traditional job. So I'm really working towards continuing to refine my strategies, being able to work flexible hours and make choices where it's not scary. I can take the time to be home or midweek hike with my dogs or do anything. Just continuing to scale and have that freedom where I'm not stressed about money, but I also don't want that to be, I like the idea of money, having that mindset where money's coming in and you don't have to worry about it. I'm really excited in the near future to have a team around me. It's so exciting. I can't wait.
You're going to be such a good leader. It's going to be so good. The humans that are so lucky to work with you.
I onboard them on the first and I'm like, hi guys. Super excited. I will say one other thing. If somebody's on the fence, like if there are still spaces in the revenue realm, come in person. When I came to your first in person in Brooklyn last year, I had already known you guys online, but the second that you step in a room, you feel how genuine and amazing. There were tears. I really think if you're on the fence, even taking that commitment and taking that, if they can get there, is really cool to just meet in person and understand this is a real thing. It's not pushy. It's amazing.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for adding that in, because I would love to meet anybody that's listening to this in person. We have built something I'm so insanely proud of within the Charm Collective. We cry about all our clients' wins and love what we do on a daily basis, but there is something to be said about getting in the room, hugging your people. The conversations that you can have and the transformations that you can have 3 days in person are just so freaking next level. Anybody listening to this, if you're interested in learning more about the Revenue Room before May 12th through the 16th of 2025, see you there. And get to meet Shelby in person. I really appreciate you. This has been so much fun. You're such a bright light. You have such a bright future ahead of you. If we could just clone you times 100, I would be so freaking happy. Yeah. Just really appreciate you. So thank you so much for taking the time today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.